Where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. God has given us unlimited treasures in His Word. Every time we open it, we can discover a new treasure or admire an old one. What will we find today? Here's Carla Early with Treasure Hunt in the Word.
My vision for this podcast has always been for it to be a platform for people to share their God-given treasures with the world. When God teaches us things, it's not just for us. It's for others who see our lives. It's for us to share with people. It's our testimony. And if we're walking with the Lord, He teaches us things every day, every time we open His Word. So I appreciate those of you who have contributed to this podcast, sharing what God has taught you. On that note, we're going to do something a bit different for a few days. We have a new contributor. You won't be able to hear her voice, however. When I go to visit her, I'm not even allowed to bring my phone. She's an inmate at the Gadsden Correctional Facility, where I visit once a month. The second time I was there, she was asked to share a poem that she'd written. When I told her I liked her poem, she gave it to me, saying that there's way more where that came from. The next time I saw her, she handed me some loose-leaf paper with lots of poems and other writings. She loves to write and share what the Lord has done in her life. They call her Ziggy, but her name is Carolyn Clements. She has extremely curly hair and a beautiful smile that lights up the room. Though you can't hear her voice, she's given me permission to share some of her writing so that you can hear her spirit and what God has taught her. We're going to start out with a little of her background. So this is a treasure from Carolyn Clements. I hope God speaks to you through it. I want to give you a little bit of testimony to show what God is capable of doing in your life, because of what He did in mine is nothing short of a miracle. We have a primal instinct of survival that came with being born of the flesh. I was abandoned at the tender age of 12 in the streets of Springfield in Jacksonville, Florida, Duval County. Phoenix Avenue is where it all began. It's a frightening thing when your innocence is snatched away at a moment's notice and something altogether different takes its place. Fight or flight, live or die. That's all you know, and nothing else seems to matter. I lived a life of crime and addictions, one right after another. Climbing my way up the ladder, I found myself in a circle of people I thought loved me, but what they loved was the money I made for them. I thought I was safe and that I really found my way, but I couldn't have been in more danger or more lost in all my life, especially because of my insatiable appetite for drugs, self-medicating my trauma away, or so I thought. What I was really doing was killing myself slowly. I had nowhere to turn, so I cried out to God to help me. And help me He did. 3 days later, off to Duval County Jail I went, and my detox began. But so did my relationship with God. I couldn't have made it without Him. He took me by the hand and led me through the fire. He held me through it all, and He holds me still. My primal instinct is no longer fight or flight, live or die. It's live and live well, with a sound mind, good health, and a bulldog faith. Now I have an insatiable appetite for the Word of God and a love relationship that no other can match. That is nothing short of a miracle. I hope you enjoyed the testimony of my friend Carolyn Clements. Her story reminds me of the slave girl in Acts 16. God had sent Paul and Silas to Philippi, and they started a small congregation of believers. But it says a slave girl followed them around. She had a spirit of divination, which her masters profited by. This demon tried to annoy Paul and Silas by hollering, "These men are the servants of the Most High God, who proclaim to us the way of salvation." Paul commanded the spirit to come out of her, which it did, but it left her masters without a way to profit from her. Her masters had Paul and Silas put in jail over it, and we followed their story. But I wonder whatever happened to that slave girl who had been freed from the demon. I bet she had a testimony just like my friend Carolyn. What has God rescued you from? Who have you told your testimony to recently?
You can contact us at treasurehuntintheword@gmail.com. We'd love to hear the treasures God has given you through His Word. You can listen to other episodes on our website, which you can find in the description below. Thank you for listening, and remember, where your treasure is, there will your heart be also.